your film is quite interesting because it uh, I don't know how you went about thinking about this idea, but it is
Mhm.
true that on national days we seldom find that rain rain can spoil everything. It did happen during the king of England ceremony, coronal ceremony, but in National Day in Singapore, it does not happen. It should not happen. This is what you are saying.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It should not happen because of this very special weather committee. They believe in. I mean, they make sure it doesn't rain on National Day, and it hasn't. I don't believe it has since 1966.
Since 1966, there was never some kind of surprise. Is this reality? Is this the truth, or it's a
Well, just based on the time of the year in August, it usually doesn't really rain. Maybe there's some light, a little bit of light showers in the afternoon, maybe, or but I don't believe it has rained so heavily on the actual day. So this film came about because I produced the videos for the festival for 2 years.
okay?
Um, and this sort of legend has always been said, like, it doesn't rain because of, whatever reasons. Um, One being that, the Air Force allegedly like seeds the clouds to make sure it doesn't rain. But this is my funny take on this the reason why it doesn't rain. The committee honestly doesn't exist. I just made it up. But there are many different committees that organize the parade and the festival. I mean the concert, but the committee is comedic, fictional. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is rooted in some kind of idea that people have. How come it never rains? It probably somebody is taking care of that, probably. And we,
Yeah.
through your film, we're discovering these people who are in fact two people. The committee is not very big, but they are efficient, supposedly, and they work very seriously. What did you want to convey by, because we feel that your characters, at least the older one, is very patriotic and sees any work done in in for the country as a work that should be taken very seriously, and although it may be a bit sometimes ridiculous the way they want to solve the problems, yet he is totally into it, and he wants his young collaborator to have the main mindset. And so why did you choose to convey this idea? Because you chose these two characters. One of them not so much convinced by being there and working for the government, and the other totally totally in love with his mission, and ready to die for it. And you let them fight a little bit among each other, but at
Mhm.
the end, it's the philosophy of the old man that wins. We got to work for the country. I mean, this is almost the theme that wins the battle. Country first.
Yeah, I think I think very easily when when I was writing the script, I was trying to figure out like where, what kind of conflict I can have, because without the conflict there's going to be very little chance for comedy and, like, interaction and stuff. So I think definitely there was the easier choice of making like someone younger and someone who's skeptical versus someone who's like, yeah, really, patriotic and almost to the point of delusion. As a commentary too of civil servants and military men and just how dedicated they can be to certain things. Yeah.
Yeah, but and also you chose also some other characters that are interesting, whether they're army people or people they use to help them. That was an very so you're creating this comedy where this structure where you have two characters bickering and fighting, and also these other characters who may also give them more hard time because they're demanding things, or they're not capable of helping them as they wish, and it's an interesting structure to push I suppose conflict to the maximum, so that we get the laugh, we get the tension, and we get the laugh out of it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And it was definitely part of the plan to like have the shaman like die quickly so that it's just kind of silly and unexpected and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Let me ask you more broadly, why do you try to express your ideas with comedy? What draws you towards comedy?
Um, I well, actually, so with most of my other short films, I haven't really made a lot of comedy. Maybe some dramedy here and there with some funny lines in a drama, or something light, sort of in between. But this is something that I really like. I would say like more of like a actual comedy. So it was also quite interesting for me to do because I was like, oh, okay, how do I make it funny, what would be funny. And I realized that I just have to make myself laugh first. And if it's funny to me, I think it might be funny to other people. And I think that's been quite true because you're not the only comedy festival that's been selecting the film. Um, so yeah, even to this day when I rewatch it, it's still funny to me. So I just wanted to make something that is fun and not so serious, and it actually was great. I think comedy is hugely underrated and never celebrated enough. But people love people love comedy, and I love comedy too. I realized that I also grew up watching a lot of American sitcoms and local sitcoms and stuff like that. So it was me just really trying the genre and giving it a shot. Yeah.
Are you happy with the results so far?
Yeah, I think so. It's actually been a lot more rewarding, I think. Just because sometimes when you make a dramatic film, you're very serious and you take everything so seriously. But with this comedy, with the shoot, it was super fun, to just make crazy choices. And it actually rained on our shoot, which is what I wanted, which is never the case. But it actually did rain, and we're like, yes. So if all the rain that you see is real. It's not like fake movie rain. But of course, we don't have the budget to like have like fake rain scenes. So it was just really lucky and great that it actually did rain and all those shots came through for us. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's true that sometimes lucky things can happen in a shooting. Yeah, just like that. For example, not having to pay for for
Yes.
the rain. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. It
yeah.
was it was great. It was absolutely wonderful. Like the rain was heavy. It was real rain. And it was really great. Yeah.
But let me ask you, what is your experience with cinema? Because as you said, you are just trying out with comedy, but the work you've done so far is more of a drama kind. So still short films. You're geared to short films, or you do other things.
So far I have directed, about 10 short films, mostly drama. And I'm also responsible for a web series called People Like Us. That's also a drama. And I've also produced for other filmmakers. So I produced one or two like low budget feature films and just moving up, hoping to move on to longer projects like a feature film or a TV series or I was even thinking about expanding this into a 20-minute sitcom, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm trying to do bigger things now.
Oh, okay, that's great. I see that you use those cards behind in the wall. I'm sorry to notice. I couldn't
Yeah,
help
yeah, yeah.
that.
I use this background for my.
Is this a project you're working on, or
It is, but it's a bit outdated. This is no longer the structure that I'm using, but it's for a feature film that I've been working on. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, yeah, I do work myself with card system, so it does help a little bit. But
Yeah.
yeah, so what are your plans now? Is it to move towards more feature films or more series, or you mentioning sitcoms? So you're pretty much open to any opportunity, I suppose.
Yeah, I am. I am. I know some people say that, oh, you just got to choose one direction to go to, but I think I'm always open to different opportunities. Uh, but my next immediate goal is to try to make a feature film. I think that really helps to, move my career along. But yeah, I'm definitely open to, adapting even this short film into a actual TV series, for example. I think it's very possible. And we'll see from there. Yeah.
And you work mainly in Singapore, or you kind of try to make movies for a regional audience, or how does it work? Tell me more, because we are not very familiar with the cinema filmmakers from Singapore, and we'd like to know more.
For sure, yeah. I mean, I'm also not extremely well versed in Moroccan filmmakers, but I think Moroccan cinema is a lot more established for sure, and also, of course, a lot of big movies going to film in Morocco. But for us, we're a small industry. I think we make about 5 to 10 feature films a year. It's a small market as well. A population of about 6 million people. Some half locals and half immigrant workers and foreigners. Um, we only have one major TV station, and it's a small industry here. However, to answer your first question, I actually am based most of the time in the US now.
Okay.
Currently, I'm in Singapore. I'm back in Singapore, working on season 3 of my web series. But most of the time, I spend in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. Well, you went to the spring of cinema, the place where one has to be, I suppose, to make it big in cinema. That's very good. That's very good. And web series is something big in Singapore. You can make a living out of it by having popular web series.
I don't think you can. The series that I worked on is independently produced, so I would say there's not so much money there. However, the company that funded this short film is also makes web series. They have a little budget for it. We Most of our funding comes from the government as well. It's subsidized by the government, so uh, that's kind of the scale and the type of industry we have.
Yeah. I guess just like in Morocco, we do have government subsidies for cinema filmmakers, and because
Mhm.
because the market is so tight, is so small, and
Mhm.
the international productions with big budgets are already eating up a big chunk of that market because because they have big productions. Hard to
Yeah,
compete with Marvel and the rest,
yeah,
but at the same time, independent filmmakers in Morocco, and I suppose also in Singapore, need to find oxygen to do creative work, because it is also very important to see authentic cinema filmmakers from any country, and I
Mhm.
suppose this is also the policy of the government in Singapore, I suppose.
Yeah, it definitely tries to develop the industry. The our film commission also has like a co-production grant, and trying to attract film, big films and small films to come shoot here and or be produced or made in Singapore. So um, uh, yeah, I mean, we've had some Hollywood productions that have come in just like Morocco.
Mm.
If they need certain kind of look or certain kind of location. Uh, but yeah, I think our industry is tight and small, but we have also filmmakers going out there and making things and stuff like that. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. Well, great to hear all that. And listen, I wish
Thanks,
you
Shakir.
best luck in your career, in whether it's in Hollywood or in Singapore, and or both. And I wish the best luck also to your film in our festival, and hopefully you'll be coming with maybe in a little time with another comedy, interesting, because this one is was really funny. I think you succeeded in making out of this fantastic story something also funny, and something very human, very close to what we know of people, and then you are projecting to me a very nice image of the culture and the society in Singapore. So thank you for being part of our festival, and the best luck to you, and thank you again for participating in this small discussion.
Thank you, Shakir. Yeah, thanks for having the film. I really am excited. Thank you.